Welcome to 5-Star Weekly. Josef returns, and Atlanta United look exciting, but the result remains the same. Can Atlanta experience a new head coach bump? Getting all that and more coming up. Welcome to the show, 5-Star fam. I'm AJ.
Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube.
This segment is sponsored by Thinking Man Tavern, a cozy Decatur neighborhood pub. Grab a tasty beverage from a wide variety of selections and a plate of something delicious from the menu. To go, check out Thinking Man Tavern.
5-Star fam, I'm not even sure how many videos I've made this week, but it's been a busy one, and it's a great time to tell you about our Patreon. We have some amazing tiers over there at patreon.com/ATL UTD FanTV. Go check us out and support us from a grassroots level. We would love to see you there. But guys, let's get into the match review. And we played FC Cincy on Wednesday, and another draw, but this one felt a little bit different for sure. I mean, new manager, or new interim head coach rather, in Rob Valentino, and also Josef, kind of assistant coach. If you caught the broadcast, basically Valentino actually mentioned that assistant coach Josef Martinez would actually tell Valentino when he was actually probably going to come on, in jest, of course. But yes, Josef did return in the second half. But in that first half, in that starting 11, we did see a Jackson Conway debut as a starter. And also, we had Ronald Hernandez start his first MLS match as well. And it was what a debut in that sense from him. In the goal that he scored, it was definitely a banger. But unfortunately, we go down against FC Cincy, and that's where, it's a familiar kind of trope that we've kind of gone on the road, and we were able to pull it level with that Ronald Hernandez second half goal, and it kind of came when Josef Martinez did come on and was pretty much occupying those center backs. And with some clever interplay from Mulroney and Lennon, Lennon was able to get to the byline, put in a cross, and Chol whiffed at his chance to level it, but Ronald Hernandez was there on a little bit of that deflection from Chol to make no doubt of it, and puts it in the back of the net at the near post with a plum. But basically, though, both goalkeepers in this match were standing completely on their head. Vermeer for FC Cincy definitely made some key stops, and so did Can. Can definitely, making a shout in a sense, at least, shot stopping wise, to be our number one keeper. It's one of those. Some people were calling for basically Goose to be let go at some point, probably in the off season, or they want him to retire or something, and us just play Can. Obviously, there was a little bit of I think a reason why you see Can possibly as more of the backup, as he wasn't exactly the most assured at his feet, but he definitely, I think, shot-stopping wise, did the job. And there were some moments that were a little shaky, but he got through it with no problem. But his teammates really didn't do him any favors either, with some balls that essentially, pass it back to him and he has no options. It's kind of a little bit rough. But obviously, in MLS, distribution, it's not maybe the biggest thing that a keeper needs to do, but for an Atlanta United side, of course, that wants to keep possession, it's a thing that I think the keeper is expected more to do. But either way, I think some standout performers of this match was definitely Marcelino Moreno. He pretty much controlled the middle of the pitch. You can see, when you give the ball to him, and when Valentino gives him the instructions of drive at opposing defenses, and don't be afraid to take risks and take shots. I mean, you saw him basically pretty much take over this game a little bit. I believe he created 7 chances, and he definitely, on some set pieces, he put a ball that just skimmed that crossbar, and it's one of those. I mean, he was very close, I think, to putting that in, and also from a good distance as well. He also put in Jackson Conway with this beautiful through ball, and Conway, unfortunately, it just wasn't his night in front of goal. I mean, with his feet, maybe with the decision making to make instead of just more instinctual. It's unfortunately, he didn't make the right decision. I think on his one-on-one chance with Vermeer, he pretty much struck it right at him with his left foot. Possibly had an option to his right, but either way, Conway missed a couple of quite good chances in this match that really would have made it a different type of match altogether if we had gotten the 3 points. We had 22 shots on, we had 22 shots and 9 on target. I think that, no doubt is a season high. And yes, with the caveat that it is FC Cincy that we played against, and which they are not a good defense. Even though we have, 4 bang-on starters that didn't start this match because of international duty, it still is, and plus Josef Martinez and all that. I mean, we definitely, we're missing some guys too. So I think it is quite even at the end of, guys that we're missing and how poor their defense is. I think it's a good sign in how Valentino wanted us to play, which was to take risks and to be able to pretty much play with some freedom, which is what you expect, especially when he's saying, the type of team and the type of coach he wants to be is to be very supportive and to be a human being for these players. And so I think you saw that for sure in this match where, the players responded, and hopefully they continue to play in this manner where they're creating chances and, pretty much just allowing the game to kind of, come to them and, take those chances as it comes. And you saw that, Jake Mulroney, he, looked very hungry as well, took some shots on, was a little bit more selfish instead of as passive. You definitely saw some guys that, apparently there were 10 players on the pitch that took a shot, and that's what you want to see is, you want to be able to, be that unpredictable, and I think you saw that in this match. Hopefully it continues. Unfortunately for FC Cincy's goal, it was, definitely a little bit of a breakdown on defense, and also, arguably, Lucho Acosta, should he have been carded a couple times, maybe, for not only some questionable, tackles, but also for his complete and utter just dive with his little interaction with Santiago Sosa. And so, very utterly embarrassing, I think, on Acosta's end. I think our resident tweeter, Chris, on Twitter, he said Acosta is going for the Oscar, and there is no doubt he was trying his piece out, because he knew, that was, if, the keeper wasn't equal to it, it definitely was going in. And, it's something that even when he's, not even really match fit, he's able to produce some quality like that. It's definitely, I think, some signs of some things to come. But, I think, FC Cincy, I think, come off of this one a little bit more frustrated than Atlanta United are, especially when we come from a losing position as well. But, Ronald Hernandez, he scored his first club goal. That was fantastic for him. Alacan had 5 saves. And Machop Chol, he did receive an assist for that little touch right before Ronald Hernandez struck into the back of the net. But, so one post-match quote that was, I think, really interesting was that Hernandez said that he's gotten a lot closer to his compatriot Josef Martinez, and that they now have a special relationship. Josef, he said, quote, has seen me work and how I've fought for this opportunity. It's a moment of happiness and satisfaction for both of us. And yeah, obviously they've played together on the Venezuelan national team as well. But yeah, so we'll wrap up the FC Cincy match review, and yes, our next match will be against the Columbus Crew on Saturday, and we'll have that match preview later on in this episode. So guys, let's get into the news. And yes, so according to La Nacion, the allegations against Gabriel Heinze were categorically denied by his side. They suggest that the motivation for leaking that false information may be an attempt to legally cover up the reasons for the firing. Interesting, very interesting there. And in Heinze's closest circles, according to La Nacion, he said that the allegations in the media are a smear campaign. And wow, I mean, yes, there's always two sides to a story, and yeah, well, you know, while the Athletic did kind of go in depth a little bit more into that, you know, the Watergate thing only happened once, and apparently it didn't happen again, and it was more for kind of simulating match conditions in how much water intake that these players could get. It still is, I mean, you know, you have multiple instances of, you know, not only Heinze with some infractions, MLSPA having to intervene, but also, you know, you have Heinze with him being, with his staff, not very communicative towards the rest of the Atlanta United staff and club. And plus the results just simply were not there. I mean, it's, I think, reason enough. You know, you're not really needing, you know, a complete, you know, just a, you know, list of reasons why that are just like, oh yeah, black and white, of course, you know, this is, yeah, you absolutely should be fired if, you know, you don't match these XXX criteria. But yeah, moving on from that, according to The Athletic, one current Atlanta United player said that after Emerson Hyndman's ACL tear, that, quote, they broke Hyndman. They're killing the guys with 2 practices a day, and then the staff haven't given a day off in weeks. I mean, that's really damning. You know, basically, there are some players that feel very strongly about how Heinze's practices are. Now, who is that Atlanta United player? We won't find out probably, but you know, I mean, you know, I think one doesn't have to look too far from maybe even just Josef Martinez for saying that, because I can imagine he would say something like that. But yeah, moving on from that, according to La Pasión Atlanta, yeah, it was said that instead of accepting the coach's decision, Josef decided to play his chips and put the fans on his side. On the New England match day, one could see the strategic move had given results. Fans showed their support for Martinez, the idol and historic goal scorer of the club. Interesting indeed. Yeah, I mean, he definitely, I think, did play his chips a little bit in that, yeah, he spoke to Felipe Cardenas of The Athletic, and he did say that, you know, apparently he told the team that he was going to leave at the end of 2021. And then, you know, I think you definitely have some placating to fans after Heinze was let go, and in his press conference, he pretty much says everything that the fans want to hear. Yeah, it's, you know, it's like a little bit like Mesut Ozil of Arsenal back when. The, you know, the I think the relationship with fans is just really, really smart on the players' end here. And, you know, you have pretty much Josef Martinez knowing exactly what to say when he's on camera or when he's on the record. And so it's, yeah, very, very smart on his end. But anyway, moving on from all that, Fernando Mesa is now with Necaxa again. His loan ended with Defensa y Justicia, and he has now apparently caught on with the Mexican club. And so, yeah, that is it for the news, and we'll get into the match preview. And so this Saturday, Columbus Crew, 3:30 at the Benz. It will be, yeah, the reigning MLS Cup champions come to town, And yeah, they're maybe not as full strength as they normally are, but they are still a very dangerous side. And Donington Nagby is, yeah, I mean, someone that we all love, but also someone that we do not really want to see at the Benz on Saturday. But yeah, they are a very talented group, very very deep, and I think they're that type of club that they'll not only play in the Campeones Cup, but they're a club that definitely has another shout at winning MLS Cup again. But yeah, last season they finished third place in the Eastern Conference, and they defeated the Seattle Sounders in the MLS Cup. Now, getting into some key acquisitions from their offseason, Kevin Molino, he was widely regarded as the top free agent on the market, and he signed with Columbus in the offseason. Bradley Wright Phillips, this just speaks to their depth. I mean, yeah, the league's 6th leading all-time scorer. He had 8 goals and 6 assists in 1,084 MLS minutes last season, and now he's their backup forward. I mean, yeah, it's just crazy the type of depth that they have right now. And Alexandru Matan, a Romanian youth international, is another addition to their incredibly deep attack. And their key loss is Yunus Mokhtar, and he's the really only semi-regular player to depart from last year's Cup-winning team. So yeah, they definitely have not lost very many big players. And so they're definitely, they were the best team in MLS last year if you're going by MLS Cup. And yeah, they have this style with Caleb Porter. They have this ideology, and they're at least 2 deep at every position. They are going to be very tough, even with guys out. And yeah, it's hard to see very many weaknesses in this squad. But yeah, either way, though, in their last 6, they haven't exactly played the best. They have only 1 win, 4 draws, and 1 loss. So, they're still mortal in that sense. But for us, we've been alternating losses and draws. And so hopefully it does not really alternate back into another loss. Hopefully we get that kind of head coach a bump. But the last 6 matches between us, yeah, I mean, there's only been 6, but Columbus have won 4 of them with 11 goals. Atlanta they've only won 2, and it's been 8 goals. And they last played us to a 2-1 win against us on November 11th of 2020. So yeah, I mean, they're a team that they're just really good at a lot of facets. I mean, good aerially, they're good at taking long shots, and they're good from free kicks. They're just very, very strong to so many degrees. But, it's something that, we'll have to deal with over the weekend in whoever plays. It's going to be a very tall task. But, yeah, in terms of some of the players to watch, Lucas Zelarian, he pretty much was everything he was hyped up to be last season. And he was named the MLS Cup MVP in his first season. And he had 2 goals and 5 assists in their 4 playoff games. So he is a big game player for sure. Of course, Nagby, aforementioned, I mean, he's basically a winner wherever he goes. And yeah, it's hard to argue that. And Josef Martinez, he won't be available, but he is a big cog in their side and a reliable goal scorer for them when he's available for them, of course. So, alluding to that, into the injuries and availability report. Out is Aiden Morris with a left knee injury. Out is Artur with a right hip. Out is Milton Valenzuela with a right thigh. Out is Vito Vermgoor with a right thigh. And Luis Diaz on international duty. Josef Martinez on international duty. Liam Frazier on international duty. And questionable is Josh Williams with the left ankle. Now for Atlanta, the obvious 4 that are out on international duty in Guzan, Robinson, Bello, and Barco. And Mo Adams, he's out for 2 to 3 months with the quadriceps injury. And of course, Hyman with the torn ACL, and Ibarra with a lower body injury. But getting into the predicted starting 11 then. So I think, yeah, it's going to be a little bit different. Obviously, you have to rotate just a little bit as well over, the kind of 2-day rest. And, it's going to be, I think, just a little bit different. But I think it's going to be, of course, can between the sticks. I think Hernandez, yes, he did come off with a little bit of a cramp, but I think he might be able to return in this match. Yeah, you'll have Alan Franco and Anton Walks as the 2 center backs, and Mikey Ambrose, I think, comes in as that left back. Now, in midfield, I think it kind of stays the same a little bit. It's kind of, I can maybe see maybe Josetu coming in, but I think it's Sejdic, I think it's Sosa, and I think it's Moreno in that midfield. Maybe Sejdic is dropped for Josetu, as he did look, pretty dangerous as well when he came on. He was able to play a little bit of link-up play between the lines that really, I think, was sorely missed for the almost last, year and a half. But, yeah, getting into the forwards, I think, actually, it's going to be Brooks Lennon taking that right wing spot, Jake Mulroney in that left wing spot, and Josef Martinez returns to the starting 11 for me. I think Jackson Conway got his start. Yeah, he got a few minutes, and, well, that's the thing. I don't think he was all too convincing. He still got some things to work on, and I think Machop Chol as well. But definitely those guys can come on and spell the guys that are starting. And wouldn't it be great to see a Josef Martinez goal at the Benz? I think we're all clamoring for that. But getting into some of the match facts, unfortunately, LA United have failed to win at 9 of their last MLS matches. And Columbus have won their last 3 matches against LA United in all competitions. So this is, like I said, a tall task. So let's get into the score predictions then. And, well, for me, I can see us losing this match, unfortunately. But I'm going to go with an optimistic 1-1 draw. Yeah, that means 10 games without a win, but I think a 1-1 draw would be quite a good result against the Crew at home. I mean, yeah, we need to kind of build on each kind of performance, and I think, if we have a good performance here and a 1-1 result, I can deal with it. But, guys, what do you think the score result is going to be? Let us know in the comments below. That pretty much wraps up the match preview and gets us to the question of the day. And the question of the day is, can Rob Valentino pretty much win the head coach job? What do you guys think? Can he win the head coach job this season? I mean, obviously we only have one match to go off from, but yeah, let us know in the comments below. Of course, the team is looking to, find a replacement, but we'll see really how quickly they actually get it done, and if they find the right guy as well in that sense. But guys, let us know in the comments below. That does it for the episode, and remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I've been AJ. Thank you so much for watching.